Hey guys, and welcome back to another random distractions video. As I mentioned in the previous video where I was doing the other calibration subwoofer methods, there was something that I received in my doorstep that was going to change or was going to require me to rerun the calibration again, which I'll show you guys which one I decided on in the next video for that. But for this one, as you already saw from the title, is going to be the Arendal speakers, 1961 and 1723S, so it's a combination of those two. A while back, a couple of videos back, I mentioned that I was going to start saving up to replace the speakers, which currently I have the Pioneer Andrew Jones speakers, and they're like 7, maybe 8 years old now, and they've been doing great, but you know, I've kind of wanted to see what maybe a higher end type of speaker could do for the system. And I was looking around for a couple of different brands, Polk, the Encore series from Monolith, and a couple of different ones. And then I came across a video, which I can't remember now who it was that I saw the first time, but after I saw them, I tried to search as many different places as I could. Even saw some that were not in English, but yeah, they looked really interesting, and just the overall look of them, and all the good reviews that they've been getting. And actually, I've seen even a few more lately for the speakers, just mentioning how good that they are. So this is just going to be an unboxing and taking a quick look at them. So I thought I would start with the smallest one. And granted, the 1961 series is supposed to be their smaller one. But what I ended up doing was going with the 1961 towers, and I believe one of these is the bookshelves, the 1961 bookshelves. But since I do watch movies quite a bit, I wanted to make sure that my center was, going to be the best that it could. But because of the size of the cabinet, I'm kind of limited to space. But after checking, double checking, triple checking, it looked like the 1723S center would just barely fit into that space. So I actually asked on the community page for Arendal and got some replies back from some folks on there. Actually, they might have been with customer support. So thank you guys for the tips on that. And decided to go with the 1723S, which, like I said, I'm not sure which one of these it is. So we'll see here in a second what this small package is. The one thing I will say about the packaging for just this is like they do cover it with like a lot of fragile stickers and tape and stuff like that. So I definitely appreciate that. Hopefully they are not in too bad condition from the shipping. Oh, and in regards to shipping, I actually ordered them on June 30th, which was a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, and then received them on July 6th, which I believe was Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday, but it was like really quick. And unfortunately, because of work and other stuff, and because I wanted to do an unboxing of this, I did not have a chance to open them until today, which is a Saturday. So they've been just kind of teasing me in the living room for a couple of days now. All right, so yep, this is the bookshelves. So holy cow, that must be the center. Okay, that's one of the grills. They come in a little bag here. And then it looks like we have a little manual here in a Ziploc bag. Oh, that's a really nice looking one. Oh boy. For being the bookshelves, these are certainly heavy. All right. So they also come in their own bag here. Oh wow. And yeah, they are not kidding when I've seen the other YouTube videos mention how nice they look, and wow, yeah, these look really good for sure. So those are the bookshelves. Really nice. All right, and so now moving on to the next biggest package here, which, like I said, I thought this was going to be the bookshelves, but apparently this must be the center. And shout out to Captain Tech Review. I've been kind of messaging with him a little bit through my channel, and he mentioned that, he said that it's a lot bigger than you expect it to be. So he's not kidding. This is one huge box. All right, so this is the 1723 S center channel speaker. Oh, and this one actually comes with some gloves that you can use. And then the manual, of course. Here, I'll show how well it's packed. They do a really good job. One of the things that they, when I was asking in regards to, you know, what do people think of me getting the 1961 versus the 1723S after I figured out that it would fit. And one of the things that they mentioned was from the community page on the Arendal site, the matte black finish matches really well with the 1961 series. Because originally I was thinking of going with the white one. But after they mentioned that, I'm like, you know what, black is fine. That's what my current speakers are. And they kind of fade into the setting, I guess, of the living room. So I figured I would just go with that instead. And maybe, the white one looks fine too, but they specifically mentioned that. So I was like, okay, I'll go with the black one. So yes. Alrighty. And then looks like this slips out. And once again, they have the grill there in a bag, so that's nice. Keeps it nice and sheltered. And oh my gosh, this thing is heavy. All right, so not only is it bigger than I thought, it's a lot heavier. I mean, even the bookshelves, considering how small they are, they feel very, very heavy. Okay, I'm gonna have to quadruple check now, just make sure that it actually does fit in my cabinet there, because this looks a whole lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. And the one difference too between the 1961 and the 1723 S series looks like is that these are also can be bi-amped. So, but yeah, that is a beast for sure. All right, so now that we got that monster out of the way, that thing is so huge. I'm looking at the space right now and I'm like, how is that gonna fit? But I'll go ahead and move on to the towers, which are the last bit. And I'll just do one real quick so we can see what that looks like, since they should be the same. All right, Arendal 1961 tower. All right, and this comes with this box, which it says it's the Spikes kit. Another manual there. And it's also really nicely packed. Oh, and this one, I think all three of these are around the whole thing. So I'm gonna have to flip it over. Oh, this one, it looks like the grills are separated into two smaller ones. There's the second one. Oh, now this one is not completely covering it. Just part of the way. Oh, this is the bottom. All right. There it is, 1961 tower. It's angled there. I saw, what was it, the YouTuber Aaron's Audio I saw his review on the 1961. That was one of the more recent ones that I've seen. And he mentioned in regards to this angle that because they're such low speakers, the angle actually makes it so that the tweeter and the speakers will kind of hit your ears while you're sitting down. So I think that's a really awesome, design for it. And yes, once again, these are very, very pretty. I'm sure the other one's just exactly the same. I'll go ahead and open it, but I'll save you guys doing that again. But that looks really cool. So I thought I would show putting the spikes together. And one thing to note is when you do this, don't do this on like this kind of flooring. Like try to do it on a rug, because it looks like I kind of scratched it up a little bit. Luckily it's on the bottom, so you won't notice it. But yeah, just kind of something to be careful of. And I decided to go ahead and put on the gloves. Take a look and see what's in the spike kit. So it looks like we got some washers, some different type of washers, some screws, and these must be the things that the feet tie into. Maybe I should probably read the directions to see what I need to do. And I think these must be the spikes if you have a rug or carpet. I guess those are the spikes. Oh, almost lost it. Oh, those are really nice looking. Look at that. All right, so I'm going to read the directions real quick to see how this goes, and I'll be right back. Well, guys, I took a look at the manual, and it does mention these, but it only mentions them more really in regards to the spikes versus the rubber feet. But I'm assuming that they just go in here. The one thing I'm not exactly sure of, because it doesn't mention it, is whether you're supposed to use these washers in there, which kind of makes sense to do that. But it doesn't really mention it on there. And then these would just go on here. The other thing is that these also just kind of fit on there by themselves, but it feels like they would be too wobbly. And, our kids are a bit older now, but the more stability, the better. So I think I'm going to go with this route, and then I'll double check at a later date to see, or maybe somebody watching this knows if you're supposed to put that washer in there before tightening it down. But I'm going to go ahead and put these on and be back in a sec. And I do like how they have the Arendal logo on there. That's really cool. And there it is. All right, guys, so there it is. The Arendal 1961 towers, 1961 bookshelves, and then the 1723 S center channel, which, oh my gosh, looking at it in between all these, it still looks really huge. But that's it. All right, so let's take a look at the bookshelves as they're compared to my Andrew Jones Pioneer bookshelf speakers. These are the Pioneers, and you can tell they have a port back there, and they are actually bigger as far as size goes, but as far as weight, like I can lift that up, not a problem. This one I really do need both hands in order to lift that up. But this is what the Arendal looks like. I'll take off the cover, and that's what the front of it looks like compared to that. And as you notice on this one's actually sealed versus ported of the previous one. All right, and now comparing my current center channel, which is the Pioneer Andrew Jones center channel speaker. I'm going to take it out here. So yes, there is definitely a size difference for sure all the way around, including the weight, because like I cannot lift this thing up with just one hand for sure. And as you can see, the center channel is ported, which, because being in a cabinet, that's actually causes a lot of issues, and I can see that when I do ARC with the Anthem, the center channel has a big boost towards the lower end. So one of the things that I do like about the Arendal is that it is ported as well, but it has the option to seal, which that's what I'm going to do for in this application as well. And looking at it, this is why I was wondering whether it was going to fit or not, and it looks like it will. So I'll try to put that in and just to make sure, but it looks like it will. All right, and that's how it looks with it inside. The one thing that I am kind of concerned though is that it's going to be shooting pretty much directly at our knees. And one of the things that the Pioneer had was these little rubber feet. And depending on how you put them on here, it adjusted it so that it could actually kind of point towards the listener. So I'm going to have to try to see if I can figure out maybe how to tilt this a little bit or something, or maybe with the waveguide it won't be an issue, but so I'll have to see once I run the tests and stuff, but yeah. And let me take the grill off of here, which unfortunately is not magnetic. Quite a difference for sure. It's almost comical, to be honest. Oh, and I do love the magnetic grill for sure. And here are the 1961 towers compared to the Pioneer Andrew Jones speaker towers. And then I do have the Dolby Atmos module on top of them. That is one thing that is different between this set and the set that I'm getting rid of is I don't have a Dolby Atmos module. I don't know that I necessarily want to keep this one just because of the look or whatever. But I'm gonna try to see if I can do something different in regards to that. But yeah, here it is without the grill for the Arendal, and then here it is for the Pioneer. So that one only has 3 woofers and a tweeter, and then this one has 4 woofers and a tweeter, although I believe these are just woofers, and then this is a mid bass, and then this is a tweeter. So, and also like the center channel, it actually has the option to be sealed, which I'm also going to be running these as sealed as well. Since I have dual SP3000s, they don't really need to go down that low, and it'll be better to integrate with these subwoofers as well. So these are actually ported, which since they're kind of hooked up, let me unhook them so I can show the back of that. So there's the back of the Pioneer. You can see it has 2 ports on there, where this one, it just has the 1 port down below, but like I said, I'll leave it sealed. And you'll notice it's actually taller, but they're actually probably closer to the same size. But one of the things that I read about for the Andrew Jones speakers is that because they are kind of low, the tweeter doesn't usually hit you where it needs to. And so raising it up helps to create a better sound stage, which is why I created these little platforms and then still needed to use some foam to help lift them up as well, which helps with like resonance as well, and or at least maybe it does, who knows. But that helped to lift them up really high and made sure that the tweeter was hitting my ears instead, and it did make a difference. So, but like I said, these are angled so that they hit the ear like they're supposed to. And here they are. As I was moving out the stuff, I went ahead and set it next to it so you can see that, yeah, they're roughly about the same height. And if I turn them around, the Arendal is a little bit deeper, I guess, than the Pioneer, but again, similar in height. All right, well, after a lot of moving around, a lot of huffing and puffing, I finally got everything hooked up, and it should be ready to go, really. The next step that I have to do is to run ARC on Anthem and see how that goes. I'll save that for the next video though, so stay tuned to see how it does. And again, I'm really happy that the center did actually fit. Unfortunately, when I was putting it in, I did scuff it up just a little bit, so that's on me. But yeah, that thing's really huge, and I tried to bring it out as much as possible here so that it's not, back there. And like I said, I may try to see if I can find something that'll lift it up just a little bit, just so that it's hitting more towards our ears and stuff like that. But as you can see, the towers, they look really good. I'm just really excited to hear what it sounds like now. So thanks again for joining me. Like I mentioned, it took quite a few months in order for me to save up to be able to do this. The one thing that I was able to do, or I don't know if they didn't have this before, but on the Arendal site, they had something called a firm, which if you were approved, you can do like, the minimum I think was 6 months with 0% interest. And then if you went up from there, then they added interest. And I had saved up enough to, when you click on learn more, it shows you what the monthly payments will be. And when I clicked on that, I actually had enough saved up to pay for the next 4 months of payments. And of course, I'm continuing to save money for them. So by the time that, the 5th and 6th payment will come around, it'll already be there. So, but it allowed me to go ahead and order them now. Like I said, I ordered them back in June, on June 30th. And I think the first payment for them is not going to be till August. So I don't know if that's because of, the trial that you have for 60 days, although it's only 30 days. But yeah, that was the way that I was able to like, oh, okay, you know what? I don't have all the money for it right now, but I have enough to be able to order them now and not be an issue. So that was really awesome. And so it allowed me to have them a lot earlier than I was expecting, because otherwise it would have been, I think, in September when I would have had all the money for everything. So, and especially since I decided to upgrade the center channel, that's what got it pushed back to September. But anyways, thanks again for joining me. I would definitely appreciate a like, of course, on this video. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when the next one drops. And you'll be able to hear from somebody who actually purchased these and testing them out in their system with an Anthem MRX 1140. So until then, I hope you have a good one.